Hey, ndawuwe bokokwane, ndawuwe shewe. Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bomkhulu, thokozani ngenithokozisa etindzaweni tonke. Noma ngakuphi la nikhona ngithi thokozani, ngithi ndawuwe, thokozani bogogo, thokozani bomkhulu, thokozani bogogo etindzaweni tonke. Enibingelela umtukulu kamakeretane umafavuke njengedangamane, umtulu kamakeretane hankarantima umsawa mazelwandle uduladula nyama senkopolo ningayiboni kuzaca ugcwele emafutha umgadlela kandaba unyanga mthakathi. Ngiyanibingelela nonke noma ngikuphi la nikhona. Hayi ngiyathemba niyaphila nina bengwazi, ngiyathemba niyaphila nonke noma sengibuya futhi. Greeting each and everyone, my international audience, wherever you are, and those who doesn't understand my language. I greet you. Hope you are all fine wherever you are. I'm back now. Mkhulu Themba Silindza, umafavuke njengedangamane. Yeah, I want to continue with my topic, which I last spoke about. Why so many people are initiated these days. Why so many people are becoming Sangomas these days. I spoke about 2 points. The first point which I talk about, I said it was because of immigration, where these people coming from outside, they came here and they give birth to different children, because most of them, they didn't come with their wives here. They just came here, they were staying in hostels, not coming with their wives. And then another thing, they got children, their own children from here, so which it caused those spirits to infiltrate it, or to be inside, to be in those children, because as I've mentioned, that a spirit you are born with, it's a spirit that you are born with. It happens during even the fertilization, that you receive those spirits. I don't know now, because in the future we have to deal with ancestral spirits from Pakistan, and I don't know how we are going to deal with them. From Pakistan, from Nigeria, from Senegal, from all the like, because they are also now impregnating our ladies here, from Bangladesh and all the like. We have to deal with those spirits, because each and every nation have got their own spirit. As I've said that my ancestral spirit, which I've talked about, maybe I've spoken about Umda or Balos, that every ancestral spirit has got its own people. It has got its own people, it has got its own language, it has got its own food. You see, it has got its own roots. Everyone has got this, every ancestral spirit. Kungako ekuthwaseni uva kukhulunywa ngempande, kuthiwa impande yakuphi, impande yakuphi. I know that everyone thinks impande yakubo is the best. Yeah, that's what most people, you will find out. Everyone will think that, hey, we have got best impande, we have got best impande, but impande yemdawo i1, impande yebunguni i1, impande yebalozi i1. Unless if umuntu doesn't have leyo mpande, iyo into leyo that normally happens, uthole the person doesn't even have leyo mpande, and or else the person doesn't know how to apply the ritual in a right manner, and then isala lapho ke thola ukuthi people, they had to move from one liphehlo into another, because some people, they will claim to know things which they don't know. You see, they will claim, hey, we have got impande emdawe, yet they don't have impande emdawe. We have got impande yaloko, yet they don't have that impande. Yeah, you know, there's this thing which I'm going to talk about today. I don't know how to put it in ngesingisi. ngesiswati we say kukhaleleka. kunento lekhalelekako sisho ukuthi there is a need or lesinye isikhathi bathi mamba or bathi mphamba emaswati bathi kudzingeka imphamba or into ethide yabo ekhalelekako. In fact, it's something that is needed. When you talk about into ekhalelekako, it's something that becomes a vital and a need to a particular person, and this thing that becomes so important and it becomes vital and it becomes a need to a particular person, this thing, because it's something that is very important. As I've said that you know, there are so many things that cause ukuthi bantu bathwase. You know, when a child was born before, was not just simply given a name. It was not like these days where you find it just a child and say, hey, this one is Jablan, or you hear it just, you know, this before names were not interchangeable. Like you find that you know, like now we have got general names, Sipo, what Themba, those are general names. It wasn't like general name. When a child is born, normally child were given ancestral name. They used to find out, that's why a child who used to be named by Bokoko was not named by the parents. The parents were not supposed to name their own child, but it was supposed to be Abokoko Bemtwana who was supposed to name the child. Not that the child was supposed to be named by the parents. So some people, they will remember Guti. It has happened in my instances where you find Guti kunekukhaleleka kwegama. I have seen where in my instances where umntwana will get sick just because kukhaleleka igama. There is a special name the child needs from the ancestors that the child must be named. So, and then after the child has been named, then the child get well. You find that the child will go to doctors, they won't see anything. Sangomas, they won't see anything. Maybe it's those who divine well, they will see that no, there is a ancestral name that is needed. Ngalendlela kunegama elikhalelekako kulo mntwana. That's why the child needs to have that name so that the child will live. And they can eventually even die just because they need the name. You know, in an African spirituality, we have what we call reincarnation, where we know that people, those who have passed on, they do come back and live by us. That's why we used to have a name. A child, we used to find out the name. What is the name of the child? And it symbolizes who within the ancestors, within the family. And that child is supposed to live according to how that particular person was living. If that person was a Sangoma, that child, it means Naye is supposed to be Sangoma and carry on in that particular work. That's why today when we are a Pethlweni, the first thing that needs to be done when you go to a Pethlweni, they must find your proper name, because one of the things that will make you go to Kalelwe is because you are called by an improper name, a name that you are not supposed to be called with. Because today you are called Jeremiah, and the ancestors, they become very sad and very unhappy because you are called Jeremiah. You see, whereas you have got your own spiritual name. Names were a bit spiritually before. So people, those who knows, they will agree with me that sometimes a child would get sick just because he's crying for a name. So some people these days, bayahamba bayotwasa bathwase, which contributes to the number yethwasa, because they are crying for a proper name. Until lo muntu aze ahambe aye phehlweni ayoshayelwa agajekwe asoselwe libhoboke idlozi bese liyazikhulumela ukuthi no, mina eligama lami ligama lami mine ngingimahlala entabeni insizwa yakadlamini mhlawumbe, mina igama lami ngingimafavuke insizwa yakaSilindza mhlawumbe. Lise seliyakhulumela lona lidlozi ukuthi ligama lingibani, and lokho kuletha kuphila kuloyo muntu loyo kuletha kuphila. Kunemuntu longathi nje nakagajekwa anikwe zeligama le right, kungasadingeki nekwekuthi aqhubeke mhlambe ngale some other processes mhlambe lamaningi, because nje kudingeka the name. So now because kufike emanation namaningi la fikile, and umntwana lo uthole ukuthi umama walala nemuntu uzibuyela le Mozambique umndawe, and manje lo mntwana wanikwa igama lani, wanikwa igama lesitswana mhlawumbe, kwathiwa ubani uthapelo ubani, then at the end lo mntwana aqala uyagula manje, ukhalale leligama lema ancestrals, because kusena kwenzeka ukuthi lo mntwana lona he or she is a reincarnation of the ancestral mhlambe lephuma le ngakubo baba, because some people have got strong ancestors that are coming from the father side. Some people have got strong ancestral spirit that are coming from a mother side. It will depend. Even I've said that a person has got 4 important surnames, which is the surname from your mother, and it's a surname from your grandmother mother's side. It's a surname from your grandfather father's side, your grandmother, which is the mother of your father. Those are the surnames which are very, very important, because your ancestral spirit will possibly come from those. From those surnames. They will possibly come under those surnames, and after those surnames, there's another 16 surnames, which possibly your name can also come from those 16 surnames. You see, so during that time, a child, they will divine and even find out what is the proper name the child is supposed to be called. And now, the child, we are just given names from the street. We just give names from the streets. And those names, they do not resonate with our spirit. They do not resonate with our spirit. And when we are called with those names, then that's why our spirit becomes sick. Then we become sick. And then we find ourselves that now we are forced to even go for initiation. We are forced to undergo initiation, because mhlambe that name will be revealed during the time of initiation, during the time of kugajekwa, because that's why uma bafika bagajekwa, then they got names. I've said before in my topic when I was speaking about kugajekwa, that if you are not successful, the process of kugajekwa, it's not successful. It means the whole process must not continue. It must not continue. I still repeat myself, which means the whole process must still not continue, because the process of initiation, because kuzothwasiswa liphi idlozi uma idlozi lingabhobokanga, kuzothwasiswa liphi idlozi, otherwise kuyadlalwa, because we must find the name and find exactly ubani lona okhalela igama, because uze ugule ubani umbani wena, who are you? Because one of the things that makes people TWASA is because we have lost ourselves. We have lost who are we? Who are we? Especially if you could find here in South Africa, you will find that most people They don't know who they are. And some people, they don't even know the name of their grandfather, the name of their grandmother. And these people, especially these days here in South Africa, most of the people are using their mother's surname. It's a mixture. It's a mixture of so many things. And these are some of the things that contributes that you will find more people having to be initiated to be good TWASA. Not necessarily that these people they are going to be healer. That's why most of them, it's not that all of these people who are initiated, they are going to be healed. But some of them, they are getting initiated because kuyakhaleleka. Kuna something that is needed. There's something that is missing within those people. There's something that must be there that is missing. Kukhaleleka something. There's something ekhalelekayo efunekako la kubo. As I mentioned that sometimes some of the people kufuneka nje igama nje. That's why the person mafika ephehlweni, the first thing kumele agajekwe kuzotholakala igama ngoba uthola ukuthi kukhaleleka igama. The name the person is called does not resonate with the spirit. It's not the real person, the spiritual person, because as we are here, we have got our own spiritual person. There's me, whom you know, but there's another person who's a spirit that lives within me. And that person wants the name, and you'll get sick, you'll get so many things, and you get problems, and your things won't even go well. And mess up because you are not called by the proper name. So until then, it forces you now that you have to go for initiation, where during the time of initiation they will bazokusosela, bazokugajeka or bazokushayela, so that the name seliyaphuma igama umagidetsheni, liyaphuma igama umahlasela, liyaphuma ugama ubhubesi, liyaphuma igama ungwenyama, liyaphuma igama. Then now you are called by the proper name of who really you are. Who really you are. So yakhaleleka those things, yakhaleleka those things ukuthi zikhaleleke those things ukuthi kukhaleleka ini. As I've said ukuthi I've been doing so much research and study because I'm also a teacher. I'm also a teacher, as you see that I'm mostly teaching. I'm also a teacher. So I've been researching about why people TWASA. There's so many points which we are still going to talk about and find out. But now I was talking about the name. Another thing which I want to mention. Every spirit, I said every spirit has got its own culture. Every spirit has got its own culture. If you have got a spirit within you, that spirit has got its own culture. That's another thing which I have to mention. A spirit has got its own cultural, a way of life, which means there is a certain way of life that when you have the spirit, you must live. If you don't live that certain way of life, then a problem will occur. You will start having a problem. If you don't live that particular, maybe if we talk of Umdawe, and a spirit has got colors. It's got its own colors. We've got this that we use for inzus, which is injeti. You see, and we have got this, which we call it imbamba, yamandao. So we have got infiso, which is part of the culture of that particular spirit. Some of the things, they've made it as if they are unique, they are special, they are what, but you find when you study very well, you will find that those things are part of the culture of a certain spirit. To those people who belong to that culture, it's just a normal thing. To those people who belong to maybe Inzuza, it becomes a normal. To those people who becomes to Umdawe, Imbamba, it's normal. It's not just a spiritual, but to them it's normal. I have seen nations in Africa who were in Fiso on daily use. You will find them always wearing Imfiso. I have seen here in Africa people who are wearing Imbamba. Always you will put them, even in Nigeria you will find them. They are wearing Imbamba. Which when you put it in particular for a madlozi, and you will think, yo, and to you it's gonna be needed because you have got that spirit, but now because you have forsaken the culture of that spirit. Because what we must know is that each and every spirit has got its own culture. Hey, yeah. Ndawuwe makhehla, ndawuwe bogogo, ndawuwe bomkhulu, ndawuwe, yeah. But each and every spirit inesiko lakhona, which means kunendlela njengoba ngisho ukuthi this spirit they emanate from a certain nation, whereby that particular nation has got a way of life, and that way of life, if you have got that spirit, izokalelega kuwe, it's gonna be needed in you. And if those things are not done, uzokula. Uzokula vele, because you know, like Africa, kunema nations which they like kushaya isgubhu. Isgubhu is something that it's normal in Africa. Kushaya isgubhu. But when you are in South Africa, especially South Africa is considered modern, you find that in order to uze isgubhu kumele uye ebunyangeni. Whereas like Africa, there are people, there are nations who dance, dance the same as ubungoma dance, who will dance. To them it's something that is normal, and it's something that is common, that you will find them dancing those dances. But those people who doesn't research, especially labangena la ebnyangeni baba stereotype, they won't understand what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the truth. When you will find them dancing, and now if your ancestral spirit, you have got that spirit, and your ancestor were used to that, and the person whom you are, the really person whom you are, used to dance that way, and that thing is okalelega kuwe. Oh, thokozani makhehla, thokozani bogogo. It's gonna be needed in you, and as a result, you will find yourself kumele uhambe uyotwasa, because izokalelega. Especially as I've said that here in South Africa, most people are living a modern life because of the modernity of life they live. That's why such things ziyakalelega kakhulu, because they have moved away from the culture of the spirits they have, because every spirit has got its own culture. The spirit that we move with have got their own culture. There are things which people they take it's bungoma, but meaning in my culture, fortunately, and I've lived with my grandfather, and I've spent time with my grandfathers and my grandmothers, and I live with them. I've listened to them, and some of the things people they take serious as for bungoma, but to my culture, to me, it's normal. Injeti to me, it's normal. It's not like here lebungoma, but it's normal in my culture. Even ipalo, even the white one, as you know that umdawe, that white color, is also for umdawe. That's why lemfiso lena imfiso yemdawe, because inebu white. White lenjane imfiso yemdawe. But To other people, it's normal, but to you, kuzokhaleleka this thing. This thing is okhaleleka. It's gonna be needed to you. Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bomkhulu. I will continue with my topic. This topic is gonna have more part. It's gonna have more part because there are so many things which I want to teach people about Bungoma when I talk to this topic. I don't want to hamba emoyeni nje. At the same time, I don't want to extend my video a bit too long, but I don't want to hamba emoyeni. But now I was concentrating ukuthi wanting sikhulume ngegama ukuthi igama kukhaleleka kwegama has led that people bagcine bathwasa. I've explained about it. Now we're talking that every spirit has got its own culture, and the culture of the spirit, if it's not lived, and if you've got that spirit in you and you are that person, as I've said that now, maybe wahamba wayoshayelwa edlozini wathi nawushayelwa edlozini kwaphuma igama kwathi uMagidetsheni, and those things uMagidetsheni will need those things zizokhaleleka. Magidetsheni, if he used to wear imbamba, izonideka. If he used to wear imfiso, izonideka as part of his culture, izonideka those things. But now, unfortunately for you, sekufuneka ukuthi uye ephehlweni to experience those things. If Magidetsheni beka used as kupin, because some of these things these days, drums are very important and vital in Africa. The spirit of Africa is always appeased when you beat drums. You beat drums. Drums, they have spread throughout Africa. But now, in order to hear drums, it must be only Bungomeni. But in Africa, drums were not only played Bungomeni, but drums were played regularly. In each and every home, you will find that drums were played regularly and people were dancing. That's why these days, uzothola umuntu azaphathwa izinyawo kusekufanele ukuthi uTWASA ahlushwe inyawo, because lezi nyawo zifuna ukugida. This feet, the person has got feet. This feet, they want the person ayogida, because why? It's what the spirit is used to. Yeah. Lomunye nje uzophatha ikhanda lomunye ngoba akayigqokanga imbamba yabandawo ekhanda, akayigqokanga, uzophathwa ikhanda, aphathwe ikhanda because kuyakhaleleka, ukhaleleka lokho. Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bomkhulu, endaweni zonke emagumbini manemhlaba noma ngikuphi lapho nikhona. Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bogogo, thokozana iseyindawo shewe. Ngiyoqhubeka bogogo ngale topic, ngiyoqhubeka makhehla, ngiyoqhubeka zalukazi, ngiyoqhubeka bomkhulu ngale topic. Ngifuna ukuyikhuluma in detail. Ngizoqhubeka kuningi lesatha ukukhuluma ngako. Mhlambe this topic might have even part 4. It might even have part 4 because there are so many reasons that makes people bathwase. And ngizoqhubeka futhi about the culture of the spirit. I will continue about the culture of the spirit because ilapho kakhulu, the culture of the spirit. What is the culture of the spirit? Because that's where most things are problem. Bese sasakhuluma ngempande. Njengoba kukhunye emaphehlweni kukhulunywa ngempande, awudlanga impande. Awudlanga impande emdawo. Awudlanga impande. We are going to talk about those things. We are going to talk about those things. What happened? Umasikhuluma ngekukhaleleka, kuyakhaleleka. There is a need for this. Kukhaleleka, it means there is a need. There is a demand or a need. The spirit demands this certain thing. The spirit demands this thing to happen. This is what the spirit demands. This is what the spirit demands, such a thing to happen. Ndawuwe bogogo, ndawuwe makhehla, ndawuwe enhla nasenzansi. Uyavalelisa umkhulu Themba Silindza umafavuke njengedangamane. Uyavalelisa umntulu kamatikeretane hangarantima uduladula nyama senkopolo ningayiboni kuzaca kodwa igcwele amafutha umgadlela kandaba unyanga mthakathu. Uyavalelisa kini nonke, ngithi kini nonke etindzaweni tonke ndawuwe shewe ngithi ndawuwe shewe etindzaweni tonke ngithi kini nonke nje ningakhohlwa to subscribe to our channel Silindza so that you won't miss all these topics. Subscribe to our channel Silindza so that you won't miss this topic. Subscribe to our channel Silindza. Subscribe to our channel Silindza. Ngithi ndawuwe kini nonke ningakhohlwa siyahlola over the phone uma ufuna kuhlola ndawuwe shewe.